Hello, this is Neil Howe, and welcome to this presentation on what you need to know about generating leads and positioning yourself as the expert with your own book. Now, it is no secret that expert recognition provides a strong advantage for getting the upper hand on the competition, and this is especially true for business owners in competitive fields like real estate, health and wellness, home services, legal, financial, and just about any other competitive consulting or professional services field. Now, like many business owners, you may have tried spending a lot of your marketing dollars on SEO, pay-per-click, Facebook ads. And while these things are all effective strategies for generating traffic, they're really just one part of the marketing equation because they are focused on getting prospects to find you. And one thing I know with traditional online marketing is whenever people find you, they're likely to find your competition as well. So what so many business owners and even marketing consultants neglect is the other equally important part of the equation, and that is getting prospects to choose you. Now, the fact is, people have no idea how to pick a real estate agent, a chiropractor, an accountant, or an attorney. They don't know what skills or knowledge or experience to look for. They're not really sure how to tell if you're even able or competent to help them. But one thing that they do know is that they want to work with an expert. And when prospects see you as the expert, it makes it easy for them to choose you over the competition. And one of the most powerful and proven ways to create instant credibility, trust, and expert positioning is to be the author of your own book. Now, a book instantly conveys the message that you are knowledgeable, capable, and confident in yourself and your topic, and it establishes you as a subject matter expert in your field. Now, if you think that writing a book is beyond your reach, well, guess what? So do your competitors. And that's why having your own book is such a powerful way to stand out from your competition. You see, writing a book is something very few actually accomplish. In fact, most of the population don't think it's something that they can achieve at all. They get overwhelmed just thinking about how to begin, and that's when most people start looking for excuses to quit before they even start. And maybe you feel the same way too. I mean, it's certainly understandable because writing a book the traditional way can be frustrating, expensive, and very time consuming. Now, let me ask you a question. If I could show you a fast and simple and affordable way to create your own book that would make you stand out from the competition, generate pre-qualified leads, and get more referrals, and position you as a subject matter expert in your field, can you think of any reason you wouldn't want to hear about it? Well, good, because that is exactly what I'm going to share with you right now. You see, the Ask the Expert method is the fastest and easiest way to create your own book that will generate pre-qualified leads and position you as a subject matter expert in your field, even if you're not a writer. So you probably have a bunch of questions like, what is an Ask the Expert lead magnet book anyway? Well, an Ask the Expert lead magnet book is a concise and easy to read book. It is short, 50 to 80 pages, and it's in question and answer format. And it answers the questions that your perfect prospect wants to ask, or maybe is afraid to ask, or doesn't even know how to ask. And it is extremely customer focused. Now, don't books have to be 300 to 400 pages to be taken seriously? Well, this is a big misconception that prevents a lot of smart people from even thinking about writing a book. Now, you definitely don't have to write a 400-page, The Complete Guide to book that covers everything that you do to be recognized as an expert. Take, for example, this best-selling book, The Art of War. This ancient Chinese military classic established the author, General Sun Tzu, as one of the most brilliant military strategists and tacticians in history. And many successful CEOs, entrepreneurs, politicians, and sports giants consider this one of the most valuable books in their library. And it's only 64 pages long. Why? Because it's concise, it's focused, and it's results driven. Now, as online and digital media has advanced, the attention span of the consumer has declined. And if you look around, you'll notice how the business and the entertainment world is catering to this recent phenomenon. TED Talks, the popular platform, hosts live speeches by top influencers and experts from science and technology, business, entertainment, and global issues. And it doesn't matter if you are Elon Musk, Sheryl Sandberg, or the Pope, stage time for every speaker is limited to 18 minutes or less. Amazon also, the world's #1 bookstore, has bestseller categories dedicated to books that are 15, 30, 60, or even 90 minutes or less to read. And these are just a few examples of how today's thought leaders are taking advantage of the opportunity to get their message heard by practicing the art of brevity. And that's why less is more when it comes to creating your Ask the Expert lead magnet book. So why are Ask the Expert books in a question and answer format? Well, while it might make your 5th grade grammar teacher cringe, presenting your content in a conversational style allows the reader to connect with your message because it feels like you're talking directly with them one-on-one. And by answering direct questions that are on your prospect's mind in short 2 or 3 paragraph bite-sized chunks, it makes your content easier to digest and to remember. And because your answers are based on your unique experiences, your book will be unique, allowing your voice and your personality to shine through. You might be thinking, well, I'm really busy. Will I even have time to write a book? Now, let me ask you this. Would you have time to sit down with your perfect prospect to answer their most pressing questions, to educate them on your process, and to describe what they can look forward to if they choose to work with you? Well, that's about how long it takes to create the content for your Ask the Expert lead magnet book. Look at it this way, with the Ask the Expert lead magnet book, it's really not a question of how much time it will take, it's really about how much time you will save, because once your book is complete, you can put it to work by starting conversations with dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of prospects on your behalf. And you might be thinking, well, what if I'm not a good writer? Well, what makes the Ask the Expert lead magnet formula completely different from any other book writing system is that you don't need to be a great or even a good writer to produce a quality book that actually helps the reader. We do it using a very simple but powerful strategy. You see, conversations are a big part of success in business. Now, just answering your prospective customers' common questions and addressing the common myths and misconceptions in your industry and warning them about the common mistakes and potential pitfalls that can occur, it plays a powerful role in turning your prospects into customers. And following a specifically designed format, I sit down with you to record a no-stress 60-minute version of that conversation, which becomes the core content of your Ask the Expert lead magnet book. It's that simple. In fact, you don't really need to write anything at all, not in a traditional sense anyway. Now remember, we're not trying to write a textbook or a Pulitzer Prize winning novel. We're simply helping your potential customers make the decision to choose you by being an educator and an advocate for their success. So some people might think, well, I'm not really qualified to call myself an expert. And this is one of the biggest myths, that an expert has to be someone who knows everything that there is to know about their field or their industry. And the fact is, such a person just doesn't exist. Being seen as an expert isn't about trying to convince people that you're the best in the world or you know everything about what you do. If you can genuinely help your customers, and if you're willing to share your knowledge, then to your customers, you are the expert. And the Ask the Expert lead magnet system completely removes the need for you to try and convince anyone that you're the expert at all. And this formula is designed to allow you to be an educator and an advocate for the success of your prospects. And when you're seen as that educator and advocate for the success of others, you never have to call yourself the expert again, because you've made it easy for others to call you the expert instead. So how should you decide what your book should be about? Well, your book topic should focus on a specific type of customer that you help and how you help them. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people make when they try to write an expert positioning business book is that they make the content focused on themselves. And it almost reads like a resume because they're trying so hard to convince the reader that they are the expert. Instead, the Ask the Expert lead magnet book allows you to be the educator and the advocate for the success of the reader by focusing on the problem that you help them solve and the outcome that you're going to help them achieve. And one of the first things that I do with a new Ask the Expert author is to determine the perfect topic for their book. So you might be thinking, can I make money from selling my book? Well, the Ask the Expert lead magnet book will certainly be valuable enough to put a price tag on and sell, but it would be extremely short-sighted to make that your strategy for generating revenue from your book. What you have to realize is that the Ask the Expert lead magnet system is not about creating a book to sell, it's about creating a book that sells you. And one of the most valuable aspects of the Ask the Expert lead magnet book is that it's so easy and affordable to give away. That's right, give it away. The expert positioning, the pre-qualified leads, the branding opportunities, and the referrals created by giving your books away will produce far more income and a lot faster than any royalties that you might collect from trying to sell copies. Think of your Ask the Expert lead magnet book as the ultimate business card. But unlike regular business cards and flyers or brochures that generally end up in the trash, your book will have a high perceived value, especially when there's a price tag right on the cover. And your ultimate business card will be easy to give away, and your customers are also more likely to put a small book in their purse or their laptop bag to read or to give to a friend that could benefit from that information. And besides being easier and more profitable, giving away your book is actually a lot of fun too. And the size of the Ask the Expert lead magnet book makes them extremely affordable and easy to keep several copies on hand so that you can hand them out whenever you need. So how can your Ask the Expert book generate referrals? Well, a customer selling you to other customers or word of mouth marketing is the most powerful promotion of all, one which no advertising can replace. So a book enables word of mouth better than almost any other marketing out there. And an Ask the Expert lead magnet book isn't meant to make the sale for you. It's meant to be the handshake, the start of the conversation that leads to an opportunity for the sales process to happen. So if your book provides valuable, easy to understand information, then you've made your terms, your phrases, your ideas easy for people to share with others, and they will want to talk about your book at a cocktail party or a networking event, or give it to anyone that they know who has a problem that your book solves. Why? Because it makes them look better, and that's how word of mouth marketing works. So how can you use your book to get more exposure for your business? Well, thanks to celebrity entrepreneurs like Dave Ramsey, Dr. Oz, Laurie Grenier, and many others, having a book not only positions you as a subject matter expert, it can even put you in the category of celebrity, at least for your professional niche in the mind of your customers. Even if they've never read your book, that's just how powerful having your own book can be. Now, according to marketing legend Dan Kennedy, he says the simple truth is if you aren't deliberately, systematically, methodically, or rapidly and dramatically establishing yourself as a celebrity, at least to your clientele and target market, you're asleep at the wheel, ignoring what is fueling the entire economy around you and neglecting development of a measurably valuable asset. So your book can open doors to getting booked to speak as a subject matter expert in your field. And if you don't have much experience speaking, start with contacting the local meetups or networking events or Chamber of Commerce, trade shows that might be interested in your topic and offer to speak for free. Organizers of these events are always looking for guest speakers, and having an expert author is an easy choice, especially if they have a book to give away to their attendees. And being an author also makes it easy for reporters and journalists to interview you and quote you in their stories, especially local news reporters. Send them a copy of your book and let them know that you're available if they ever need a comment or a quote from a subject matter expert in your field. Radio show and podcast hosts love having authors as guests because it makes them look good too. Please welcome the author of. And once again, the credibility that comes with being the author of a book instantly identifies you as a subject matter expert on the topic, and in turn makes you an attractive guest for many hosts. So how much does it cost to write and publish a book? Well, for a traditional business book, you would either need to hire a ghostwriter or plan to spend about 100 to 200 hours of your time on the writing process. And that's just for the writing. You would still have the expense of editing, formatting, cover design, and setting up the publishing. And this can easily set you back $15,000 to $30,000, and that's before you even print your first copy to give away. Now you compare that to the Ask the Expert lead magnet book, and based on our recorded conversation, there's no writing required. The whole process only takes about 3 to 5 hours of your time, and my team manages the entire project. Everything is handled in one place, so you don't have to spend your time trying to find service providers or manage the complicated process yourself. My team handles the book creation, the editing, the formatting, the cover design, the publishing services, and we provide you with the first 50 copies of your book to get you started, all for a very affordable flat fee of $2,500. Now, most business owners are pretty shocked about how small the investment is versus the return. In fact, most only need to sell or generate a couple of leads to completely cover the cost. And once your book is complete, you can put it to work by starting that same conversation with dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of people on your behalf. And because this is a marketing expense for your business, it's tax deductible. Now, I'm not a CPA and this is not tax advice, so check with your tax professional. I'm certain that they will agree with me. So how does the book creation process work? Well, I use a proven 5-step process that quickly moves from our first interview session to getting your first box of books to hand out to prospects in about 8 weeks. Step 1, we schedule a 30 to 60-minute phone call where we gather the information about you and your business, and we'll define your target reader and the topic for your book based on a specific type of customer that you help. We'll talk about their biggest fears, their myths, the misconceptions and mistakes that they commonly face, and the solution that you're able to provide. We'll also go over the book cover options and information needed for your About the Author page. After the call, based on our conversation, I'll put together a list of the most important questions that are on your prospect's mind, and I'll send you those questions along with some notes and possible bullet points that we can address. And you're free to adjust or to add to that list if there are specific questions that you would like to address in the book. Step 2, we schedule a low-stress 60-minute recorded conversation, and I'll guide you through addressing those topics and questions that we put together, just as if you were doing a consultation with a prospective customer. Step 3, this is where I take over the most tedious steps of the content creation process for you. Our recorded conversation will be transcribed. The transcript of our conversation will be edited for clarity and readability, and you get a digital proof of the book cover and an editable copy of the manuscript. And as you read through the manuscript, you can reword anything you want or approve it as is. Step 4, once the final edits are made, you'll receive a physical copy of your book in the mail to look over and give final approval. And once I receive your final approval of the physical copy, I will ship you out your first 50 copies so that you can hand them out to your prospective clients. You'll also be provided with a special link to purchase additional copies of your book for $3 to $3.50 each, plus shipping. There are no minimum purchases, and the cost of your additional copies depends on the final page count of your book. So by eliminating the need for you to do all the technical and time-consuming stuff, you'll have your own quality book that you can help bring in new customers with and develop more opportunities in just a few hours of your time. Now, before I go, I want to thank you for letting me share this information with you. And if you feel you are that educator and advocate for the success of your customers, I'd like to give you a free copy of my Ask the Expert book and answer any questions that you have about creating a book of your own.